Hello and welcome. In the past few weeks, I have uploaded a few videos on my TikTok channel about AI agents and other workflows using AI steps or nodes. And in this video, I'm going more into details of the AI agents I've built. More specifically, it's AI for a med clinic, and it will allow a patient to book, modify, cancel appointments, and ask for general information as well. And as you can see here, I'm using N8N as my software of choice to build this AI agent solution. And in this solution, we are using WhatsApp, OpenAI, and Supabase specifically as our vector store. And let's start this video with the credentials. So I'm gonna walk you through setting the credentials up for WhatsApp, Meta, also OpenAI, and Supabase. That's going to work both as a vector store, but also for the memory. Let's do it. So you're going to want to go to developers.facebook.com, create your account if you don't have it, and create app. You're gonna give your app a name and you're gonna put your email here, company here, create app. That's where you're going to set up the products for your app that you just created. So here you're gonna go to WhatsApp, setup, continue. Next step, you're going to go to app settings, basic, and those are the informations that you're going to need for your WhatsApp trigger. Let's see. I have the connection here already, but you're going to set up a new one. And here you're going to put the client ID and the client secret. Both informations you have it here. Also, since we're here, let's go to WhatsApp Quick Start, because when it comes to sending messages on WhatsApp, you're going to need other credentials. If you go back to our N8N agent, since this is not a trigger, it's a message, you're going to need to set up, which is the access token and the business account ID. Those informations you can find here. Business account ID and the access token, you can just generate it here by clicking it. You're going to copy and paste it back to the credentials here. All right, so that will do for the WhatsApp Meta credentials. Let's move on to the next one. Connection, what you have to do is go to openai.com, use continue with Google. That's because I already have an account. If you don't, just create a new one. And eventually you're gonna find yourself here on platform.openai.com and you're gonna click for API keys. You see that I have a bunch here already, and you're going to create a new one. When you do create this new one, you're going to receive a secret key, and that's the key you're going to use for the OpenAI credential here. That's all we need. Now, the AI agent nodes on N8N, you have a chat model connect to it, memory, and tools. For the chat model, we're going to use OpenAI, so you have the credentials already. For the memory, you do have a few options. I like to use Postgres chat memory. It's good for long-term memory, but you do see a lot of people creating AI agents with window buffer memory. That's the easiest one. It's good for short-term memory, but as a product, you don't want to sell to your clients anything other than a long-term memory that will work smoothly. Always. How do you get the credentials for Postgres chat memory? It's by using Supabase vector store. Without getting much into details here of what a vector store is and all the theory behind it, that's where you're going to provide your agent with information. In this case, we're building AI bot for a medical clinic. So that's where you keep information such as address, availability, name of the doctors, specialties, pricing, and etc. And you have a few options as well. We are using Supabase because, among other things, when you do create your Supabase vector store or you have your credentials, you pretty much automatically you get your credentials for the Postgres chat memory. And I'm going to show you that right now. So when you do create your own account, you're gonna have a chance to go right after your first project. Here, I just name it First AI Agent Project. If I am to create a new one, I can just come here and create a new one. Where can you find the credentials? Remember, we have two credentials here, right? One for Supabase itself and another one for the memory. So you're gonna need to go to project settings and then data API, and you're gonna get the URL and the service row. With that, you're gonna set up your Supabase accounts credentials. That's just step one. Step two, for the Postgres chat memory credentials, you're gonna need more information, as you can see here. So what you're going to do is you're gonna go to connect here on Supabase. So we're going to use the second one here. Click here and you're going to have the host, port, database, use home mode. And you're just going to use those information right here. As you can see, you do have a password. Where can you find it? So for the password, you go to project settings, database, and there you have your password. And you're going to use that here. And just like that, we have all the credentials we need. WhatsApp, OpenAI, Supabase, and the memory as well. It's time to dive into the workflow itself. Let's go. All right, so of course we start the automation with the trigger, which is a new WhatsApp message. Then, that's a very important one, we add a switch, meaning we're going to detect what kind of message we are receiving. So it can be a text, an audio, an image, or something extra. And if it's a text, we're going to add a different path. Audio, same thing. Image, same thing. All these three options we're going to deal with. If it's anything but a text, audio, image, meaning it might be a document, it might be a video, it might be an error, we're going to just send a message back to the user saying, hey, we couldn't read your message. Can you please send as a text, audio, or image? Just like that. So we keep it simple. Now, if it is a text, it's easy. We're just gonna call it a text, feed the AI agent. And by the way, we're getting there in a minute. Now, if it is an audio, what we're going to do is we're going to add a WhatsApp download media step, and we're going to download this income audio. That's the media ID that we need to provide. After that, we call a HTTP request, a GET request, and we use the WhatsApp API credentials. You don't have to do anything here other than just select WhatsApp here. With that, you're gonna get the data or the file you need to feed an AI step audio node to actually transcribe the audio. So the credentials you have already set up, right? So you're just gonna call it an audio, transcribe a recording. You're gonna write here data because that's the name that you get from the previous step. And this is a very important piece of content, meaning especially if you're not using English. So let's say you're doing this in French or Portuguese, which was my case, or any other thing. You're gonna want to specify here the language of the audio. And for that, you're going to use, for instance, if it is Portuguese, PT, English, EN. But with English, you don't really need to tell it. But if it's anything other than English, you must tell it. Anyway, when I built it, it was in Portuguese, but for the sake of this example, let's keep it in English. Same thing for the image, but instead of the transcribe audio, you're gonna go with analyze image. And what you get after this is you're gonna set up this result as a text as well. Well, it is already a text. You just want to call it a text. And why is that? It is because when you are feeding the AI agent, the input you give it, you are calling a text. So it is important that all these three possible inputs all called text. We did that for the text inputs. We made sure to call it a text. We did that for the image as well. We're calling it a text. And the transcribed audio, we're not doing it because the result is already called a text. So when you do that, you're making sure that with all three possible scenarios, the AI agent will understand, will receive the text input. Now, for the prompt. Before that, there is a tools agent set here. And for the prompt, you're going to define below. The input, that's what we were talking about. It needs to be called text. And for the system message, meaning the system prompt, you're going to want to spend some time here, right? So you can just pause this video or do it yourself. You're going to want to be specific and very clear of what the AI agent will be doing and what it won't be doing. So I'm telling it has 4 main functions, which are set up new doctor's patient appointments, modify, cancel it, and answer general questions. I also inform it where it can find those informations, as you can see here on the prompt. And I also added a narrowing step, meaning you are to reply only in, now we can change to English for the sake of this example, and other things that I'm narrowing. And to be honest, I would encourage you to be really specific here, spend some time, even go further beyond what I just did. Now, very important, for the chat model, the memory, and the tools, what are we going to be adding? Let's start with the easiest one, the chat model. No mystery here. We're doing with the OpenAI that you just set. And the model, I'm using GPT-4o mini. I think this is more than enough for what we need. And the temperature, I'm setting to 0.4. I don't want it to be very creative, to be honest. So that will do. For the tools, a very important thing that this AI agent will be doing is creating, canceling, and modifying appointments on your calendar, right? So you need to give access to your calendar. In this case, I'm using Google Calendar. That's what I encourage you to do. So you just look for Google Calendar here, and you're going to be at these 4 nodes, which is update event, delete event, create event, and get all event. For the modify event and delete event, I like to have the model automatically detect and define which event it's going to delete or cancel. That will work just fine. And for the create new event, I like to use this kind of expression here, which is we are telling it we want the AI to fill this start field, and we are telling a little bit about it. So we want to call it the start of the meeting, and it is the date and time the patient asked for it. So the AI module will detect based on the conversation and fill it here. And the end, I'm just telling it's 40 minutes after they start, because that's what I want to do. I could do it 60, 30, whatever. Let's do it 40. And I'm having the model as well detect the attendees, should be easy. And the location, I'm telling it with the same expression, it is the doctor's or the clinic address. And this can be retrieved based on the Supabase vector store. I'm gonna get there in a minute. And for the check calendar, just in case the patient have some kind of questions regarding, oh, I forgot when my appointment was, etc. This is the kind of expression I'm using to detect and retrieve those kind of information. Now, for the Supabase vector store, we want to retrieve documents as tools for an AI agent. It's pretty self-explanatory here. The name as well, so first AI agent project, and the description. I want to extract information about the doctors, the clinic, pricing, address, etc. Documents, I just set it up as well. And limit 40, it's probably an exaggeration here, it could be 10. So let's go for the Supabase. Here you do have some tables. One of the tables will be the N8N chat histories, which will be set automatically when you set up your Postgres after the Supabase. So as you can see here, table name is N8N chat histories. That's where you can find one of the tables here. The other one is documents. This is the one that I created, and I enter some values here, meaning the doctor, name, the local, and etc. And you can insert more information here if you want, manually or with a CSV. So for the vector store, I don't want to retrieve information from the chat. That's what I have the memory for. So I listed here the documents table, and that'll be it. And of course, you want to call the correct phone number, which is the one you got from the first WhatsApp trigger, and the text body is output from the AI agent. So now let's have a chat and see how it goes. So we need to test this workflow, go to WhatsApp and say hello. Let's see how it goes. So I just activated the workflow, and that should allow us to interact quickly with the bot. Let's see. I want more info about your doctors. Let's see how it goes. See, that's the information that I provided via the Supabase vector store. I want to set up appointment tomorrow noon. It should ask me back for more information. There it goes. My name is Luis. My email is Luis. As you can see, it's working tomorrow at noon. So I'm recording this video on March 18th, and I should be receiving a new email with this information as soon as I confirm. So this is a great example. It seems there was an error with booking the meeting. So what I went to do was, of course, debug it. And I did. I'm going to show you in a bit. But then I ask it, try again. The meeting is confirmed. If we click here, it should give us the meeting. And there it is. Now, let me show you what happened. I had a typo here on default reminders. So what I did was let the model define this parameter. That's it. And what I should do now is add a summary, which is a name for the event. So as you can see, when we created the event, that's Portuguese for no title. So you should just go here and add any name you wanted. And with that, you have your AI agent working as a med clinic secretary to book, modify, cancel appointments, and ask general questions as well. Hopefully that will be useful for you. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. If you like the video, leave a comment. Thank you for watching. See you next time.